Good morning. I've got a 1966 Chinese Triangle 26 SKS. We're going to take it apart, field strip it for cleaning. Where I like to start is up here. Take off the gas system. Pull that up to the first click, and then you can pull the gas tube off inside here. Use a piston, and then pull this up a little more. Put your finger in front of here. You'll see why. Comes another gas piston. This spring is stronger than you would think. How this works is there's a hole up here. The gas block comes up, smokes this piston back into this one. This one comes back, smokes the bolt carrier. It ejects the spent casing, and on its way back it picks up a fresh one, pushes it into the chamber, and she's ready to go. Ready to rock and roll. Gun is clear, by the way, completely empty. Probably should have done that before I started. But from there, we're going to move back here. And I've got this in a clamp and back to hold it vertical for me because it's just easier. There's another lever back here that you pull up about 90 degrees. And that comes out all the way out. And then the gas cover or dust cover comes off. Out comes the recoil spring. And then bolt and bolt carrier. From here, we'll take it out of the clamp. Push that back down so we don't bend it. From here you flip it over. And you've got to put these, in order to proceed, you put that on safe. Like that. And then there's a catch right there in the on the trigger. Now you can use whatever you want. It's designed to be done with a cartridge. I use a small punch. There's an indent there, and the gun has to be on safe to do this. Give that a hit. There's your trigger group. And from there, we can pull the magazine. I like that. Now this one does have a little bit of cosmoline up in here. Didn't even realize that was there. Cosmoline is like Vaseline mixed with snot. It's just disgusting. Now from here, we open up the bayonet a little bit, and then the whole works comes out of the stock. You gotta get that cosmoline off. It's disgusting. But that's it. And you go through. Use a wire brush, a soft wire brush, and you go through and clean it up. Most of these barrels are chrome lined. Only the very early ones were not. And as a result, you're going to see a shiny bore in just about every Chinese SKS you pick up. One word of caution on these guns: if you do get one that is still slathered in cosmoline, when you clean the cosmoline off, make sure you take the bolt apart and get the cosmoline out of there. These bolts are notorious for being packed with cosmoline, and sometimes the firing pin will stick forward. Not forward, forward. When they do that, when you release the bolt carrier, the gun will slam into battery. If this firing pin is stuck forward, it'll fire, and it will continue to cycle until the magazine is empty. And that's a wild ride. Don't ask me how I know. Make sure, however you clean your gun, get the cosmoline out of it. You get the cosmoline out of this bolt. It's imperative. It's very important. A lot of you guys are familiar with this right here. This is an integral 10 round magazine. If you're not familiar with these are what came with the gun. Normally, if it's original to the gun, the serial number will be stamped on the bottom of it, and it will match the serial number that's stamped on the receiver. I know back in the 90s, these were pretty cheap. In fact, I bought this one for $75 back in like 1996. Now you're finding them $400, which is, to me, unbelievable. But what guys did is they took the 10 round out, throw it, garbage, drawer, whatever, and they bought those ridiculous 30 round duckbill removable magazines because they wanted a Kalashnikov and their wallet didn't try hard enough and they only had enough money to buy a Simonov. If you get one of these with one of those 30 rounders, do yourself a favor. Find a 10 round magazine or a Chinese 20 round magazine, integral magazine, and put it in your gun. Get rid of that duckbill bullshit. But anyway, it's clean. We're going to put it back together. Sorry, battery died on the camera. I think we're going to put it back together. So we'll take the stock, pick the bayonet back up, and then put this back in the stock, put the bayonet back down, put the magazine in, like that, put the trigger group over there. Make sure you get that all the way forward. It's got to go all the way forward. And then you can take and pop that back in. We'll put it back in the clamp. That way I don't have to hold on to it. There we go. Put the bolt back in the bolt carrier. Drop that in. Now, there's debate on which way this goes. Some folks say that this goes, the straight end goes into the bolt carrier. Some say the curly end goes into the bolt carrier. You know, I've ran it both ways. It works both ways. My line of thought is if you put the curly end in the bolt carrier, it's got a guide rod back here to run back and forth on. Whatever works. Who are you going to believe? But if you guys have any kind of proof from like a manual or something like that, please post it in the comments, because that's the way I will do it from now on. But anyway, I put the curly end in the bolt carrier like that, and what I do with these is I push that forward to right there, and you'll see why in a minute. From here, put the dust cover back on. Like that. And then put this piston in. Oh wait. The catch has got to be up. Push that back down to 45. Man, that's tight. And then put the gas piston in the gas tube. Goes in like that. In there, push that down. Oh, I've got that too far, way too far. There we go. Reassembled. Remember, in order to get this trigger group out, this has to be on safe. Has to be on safe. But that's reassembled. Locks open. Closed. Turn safety off. Ready to go. That's it for today. See ya.